Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to do a demo and overview of Microsoft Copilot. And this is one of Microsoft's chatbots. And it's gotten much better over the last few months. And I honestly think that Microsoft Copilot is comparable in quality to ChatGPT or Cloud or Google Gemini or DeepSeek and many other of the top AI chatbots. So you just need to go to copilot.microsoft.com. Then you can make an account or log in with an account you've already made. And once you log in, it'll look something like this, kind of like what ChatGPT or Google Gemini look like when you first log in. And you can give it prompts. And then on the left here, you have these different buttons you can click on. I'm going to show you generating an image. We probably won't have enough time to go into these other things, but I just want to show you some of the very useful things you can do. So one of the first things would be summarizing. And I think the summarization is very good with Microsoft Copilot. So right now there's a major war going on in the Middle East. And anyway, this article is from the BBC. It's just from today, I believe. And what you can do, for example, is take articles. You can say, summarize this article. And I often like to put things in triple quotes because that kind of comes from programming in Python. But you can just put it in single quotes if you want. But I like to put things in triple quotes. That's just my habit. So you can say summarize this article, and by default it'll say it's smart. But I almost always like to do think deeper. But first let's just go with smart because I think smart is probably faster, and think deeper may take a bit longer. But I almost always go with think deeper. But I just want to see, let's just compare the regular smart versus think deeper. And we're going to have that summarize. See here, this is quite fast. And I love that it gives these very useful emojis. So it's got a ship emoji, the world emoji. And it talks about, the things going on. And you can check out this article if you want to see the images. It's quite terrible what's going on. But I think that did a really great job summarizing. And then what you can do is you can copy the message, and then I think it will copy to Markdown. So for example, here you click on that. So this is Markdown code. So as I mentioned, this is Markdown code. You can use a site like markdown2html.com, and you can copy this. And let's say you had a blank Google Doc. You could paste this in, or you could also just save the Markdown. You could just save the text into a text file or Markdown file. So yeah, and like, look, I think this is terrible, right? It used to have over 100 ships per day, and now it only has 5 to 6 per day. So that's catastrophic for the world economy. Okay, now I want to ask the same question, but let's do it with the think deeper. So think deeper. I don't know if the summary is going to be much better. Okay, so actually that was a bit faster. That was surprising. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected to be much faster with the regular one. So even I was surprised. I think that the first one gave better output because I liked the emojis. But yes, that's just summarizing that. And for example, let's do one summarizing. This is summarizing from Universe Today. So Canada wants to build a spaceport. Let's summarize this. Summarize this article. And I'm going to remove the think deeper. And one thing about Think Deeper is that I use it with coding a lot and I ask it complicated questions. Maybe that's the best case for Think Deeper. Smart, it does think deeply, and I actually don't know exactly what the difference is, but I've generally gotten really good output with Think Deeper, and it could be that both of them just give good output. I haven't thoroughly done like a test for both of them, but either way, I think they're both quite good. And the summary, it says Canada invests in its first spaceport. It's going to be in Nova Scotia and to be finished by 2028. So I think that's an interesting article. Okay, so I have another question. I have this prompt. I want to ask it now. Basically, it's comparing ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini. So let's ask this here. So compare ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini for a small business owner. Give me a table of strengths, weaknesses, and best use cases. So let's just go with Smart. I've gotten good output with Smart. So high level takeaway, ChatGPT has excellent writing and idea generation. Its weakness is it's not natively integrated into business software. So Microsoft, of course, is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they have lots of great software like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and many others. And they've been integrating their most recent Microsoft Office with the AI. So that's a potential a benefit. Yeah, so it has a good integration. And for me, one of the best things about Google Gemini is that it has access to YouTube, so you can easily summarize YouTube videos, and also Google Gemini is very fast. And personally, this is just me. I use all of these. In fact, I use probably at least 5 every day. I use Cloud, ChatGPT, I use Grok, and I use others. But even if you'd use just one of these, I think all of these are good, but I think Microsoft Copilot is quite good. And I don't have any particular allegiance to any of these companies. Although I would generally say ChatGPT is usually the best. Google Gemini is usually the fastest. But the reason I like to get outputs from many different models is that sometimes it's impossible to predict which one. Yeah, it is impossible to predict which one will give the best output. And sometimes one will give interesting output, whereas another maybe not. So I like to get many different ideas. And now let's try with planning. So for example, I have this prompt here. Create a 30-day learning plan for someone who wants to learn Python for data analysis, studying 1 hour per day. Make it practical and beginner friendly. So Python is one of the most popular and most useful languages for data science and data analysis. So I'd like it, yeah, let's see how this is going to do. So Python Foundations, install Python in VS Code, or use Google Colab, or didn't say here, but Jupyter Notebook would be one. Yeah, I think these are learning Python within a month is certainly at a introductory level. I think it's great. Of course, to become like a real master of Python probably would take months or years. But I think that you can learn Python at a decent level within a month, for sure, an hour a day. Like with anything, it takes a lot of practice, but I think most people, if they put enough effort into it, they should be able to learn, at least some basic Python. So I like this here. So it talks about pandas. That's a very useful library for doing data analysis. NumPy, this is a useful library. So yeah, my background is in data science, but so I'm familiar with all of these. But I think as a beginner, they could definitely find it useful. Matplotlib, this is for creating visualizations. And yeah, so I think this is a good plan. And for example, we could copy this here. And if we wanted to go to markdown to html.com, then we could, for example, paste this here. So you could see it gives a good plan. So basically it's 1 hour a day. I believe that's what the prompt was. 1 hour a day. Roughly 1 hour a day. I'm not sure if, yeah, 30-day learning plan. So I guess this is assuming that, yeah, you're studying literally every single day, so there's no breaks. I think this is a good plan. And then, yeah, it often will give follow-up questions, which is great. Now what I want to do is go to Imagine. I think Imagine is quite good. For example, here, I don't know what this is. This looks like an astronaut in space, like putting flowers on, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's an asteroid or yeah, I have no idea what that is. Looks, or maybe the asteroid, maybe the astronaut is on the moon. I'm not sure. But let's generate an image. I just want to show you here. So generate an image of 2 gorillas playing ice hockey with two Arctic wolves in the Arctic. At the North Pole. Okay, so gorillas live in Africa. That's where, like, they're in Rwanda and Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. Anyway, this is something that would never happen naturally, but I'm so excited to see what this would look like. So you can generate really wonderful images. And let's see how this looks. So notice this is going really fast. I'm going to pause it. I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so it's taking longer than I thought it would, but this is a complex idea. Okay, again, it wouldn't have been trained on this because this just can't exist, at least on natural conditions. So 2 gorillas playing ice hockey with 2 Arctic wolves. And even having a human make this would take potentially a long time, several minutes to maybe hours, and already this is doing this within like 2 minutes or less. So I think this is a wonderful image. I just clicked on this and look here. So this is wonderful. So it's smart enough to know that wolves, they would probably want to put the stick in their mouth. And look here, the gorillas have the ice shoes. I don't remember what you call these, hockey shoes or ice shoes. And it's got it's got a puck, and then it's got snow and ice. I think this is really wonderful. This is a wonderful image. And then there's the goal. Here's snow, here's ice. I think this is a wonderful image. And then you can download the image and also share it. I'm going to show you what it looks like downloaded. Okay, so I downloaded the image and yeah, this is what it looks like. It's almost 3 megabytes in size. And I think this is just, yeah, really wonderful. Zooming in. Again, this is something that they couldn't have trained it on because it doesn't exist. So it had to use its own imagination. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to or follow my channel. Like the video and see you in the next video. Thank you.